What's up, YouTube? Oh man, I'm just playing. Hey, we got freaking Voltron here together. We got Short the Vix, Rogue the Legacy, Review Dork, TMI. Just freaking showing Applejack's in the background. Applejack's, we'll find a way to get you in here. But we just kind of got together here in Kansas, the group of us here, and wanted to take an opportunity to discuss some... Oh, buddy.
No, we got Titan here.
Hey, so I think there's a real opportunity here with this many people gathered together to discuss some different topics that have kind of been floating around Twitter, Reddit, YouTube, Discords, the whole freaking ape community in terms of good things, bad things. Because there's a lot of voices that are speaking about what's happening with AMC, what's happening with YouTubers, what's happening with the stock, what's happening with the squeeze. And I think, to find some sort of centralized location to discuss what this is really fucking about, what this whole movement is, what the people behind it are, the whys, the stories, the reasons you got in it, to remind you what's happening here so you know that the apes are not leaving. That's what it's all about. So I'm freaking jacked for this. It's gonna be cool to hear these people's voices in person, and I hope you guys dig this stuff. So let's send it, baby.
So taking things from there, I think we should address a few things with the community right now. There are a lot of apes out there. We're all apes. I mean, there's only, 5, 6, 7 of us right here in one room together. But outside, on a macroscopic perspective, there are millions of us, over 4 million of us. And I think that we need to make sure it seems like that on a consistent basis. There seems to be a little bit of negativity that's kind of rolling through the community right now. It's easy to see. I mean, I'm sure you're seeing it. I'm sure everyone's starting to pick up on little tidbits of doubt, FUD, misinformation, whatever it might be. The point is, there's no reason why the positive sentiment towards AMC and or GME, if that's the stock you choose, shouldn't be heard every single day. When it comes down to being on social media, when it comes down to having 4 million different shareholders with AMC specifically, there's no reason why we can't do things like trend every single day of the week. I mean, if we can't even organize to get ourselves together just to tweet out once a day, #AMC, we're doing too much, right? We have to get back focused on the little things. Let's get our voices heard. Let's make sure we get that right message out. Like, how do you guys feel with that?
I think this trade is seriously more simple than people are trying to make it. I mean, the thesis hasn't changed in the last 7 months. Everything that we've been talking about has been there, this entire time. And if the thesis hasn't changed, why overcomplicate it?
Yeah, I think at this point too, we know that pretty much all of the core DD has completed. So at this point, it's more of just updates on what is going on more broad market and how everything affects it, and correcting some things that have been coming out. So there's this weird dynamic circulating in the YouTube space, Twitter space, Reddit, where it's not necessarily getting the information out there. It might just be rushing to get something out there, when what we really need to be doing is just keeping it super simple, because we know what time it is.
Well, I just think that, as we keep adding narratives and more narratives to the play here, we end up doing something like quantum physics. Nobody likes quantum physics. We came into this play because it was buy and hold. Quantum physics is unnecessary. The math does not add up, but it adds up to our favor.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
And it's in our favor.
Yeah, it's in our favor, and it's to the point where we're winning something and we're so far ahead sometimes, we're starting to slow down just to look back and see what's behind us. Forget that. Keep going, keep it going, keep that positive momentum rolling. Like, when it comes down to perspective, I truly think that perspective does equate to reality. So when it comes down to people that are coming into the community, we need to make sure that we are looking like a fun place to be. We need to look enticing. We need to look like a steal. We can't look like something that's slowly starting to disintegrate, or a has-been. There's still so much room for us to run. We have to make sure that we look like we're on our way to just getting started.
So a piece that I remember talking about, I went on Fox Business, I spoke with Charles Payne, the freaking silverback, the absolute man in terms of financial media, and he asked me a question, I'll never forget it. It was, what's your greatest concern in terms of what could derail the squeeze setup for these apes? And first, I kind of gave him a witty comeback. I was like, risk for what party, Because he didn't specify, but my answer was very simple, and it's infiltration. Now, that can be thought of in a couple different ways. You can think of bots coming into the community, hedge funds coming into, Reddit and Discords and YouTube, trying to act as an ape. But it's more than that. It comes down to unity versus division. Are you going to work with your teammates? Are you going to work with your apes, your fellow friends, your peers on, providing due diligence and educating people to the best of your extent? Or are we going to divide ourselves like all of America and all of the world already is? There's enough division out there, guys. I think the most beautiful thing about AMC is that it doesn't matter what you are. It doesn't matter if you're a male, female, what your political agenda is, where you live in the freaking planet. None of that shit matters. You're an ape. That's as simple as it is. All you have to do is buy and hold the stock and stick true to the basics. That's the greatest concern that I've got, is maintaining that. Hey, I'm just a simple ape, though. I obviously need some more opinions on that.
Yeah, I think this is where I jump in. I agree with you 5,000%. The only thing that's left to do is for us to hold. The longer we hold, the more uneasy we get. The more uneasy we get, the more nervous we get. And every day that passes, you're like, what the hell's happening? Why am I holding? You have to remind yourself each and every day why you're holding. And I guess the best way to remind yourself is open up a journal and record your why. Right now, each and every day exists an opportunity for the FUD to fuck you up. It's just that simple. It's really that simple. One day, you're gonna wake up, you got a shitty day at work. Maybe you got your loved ones, right? They didn't swallow. Now you're pissed.
Keep it real, gang. Keep it real. We love it. We love it. We love
Okay,
it.
that might have to get edited out.
You didn't get a good clap in. It happens.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
It's strictly emotional at this point. You're gonna feel towards the stock the way you feel about your day. So if you had a crappy day, you get home, you see closing, you see it's down, you start wondering. Your wife's asking questions, your family's asking questions. Now you start listening to all this FUD because you need to confirm your emotion. Guys, it doesn't have to change as long as you go back to your journal and remember why you got it to this place in the beginning. The reason why we came here today was to really just sort of kind of agree on one thing. And that one thing is you guys. That's really it. We're agreeing with you guys. We're as nervous as you guys. We make it look easy, but we're built for this shit. You guys can beat us up all day, every day. And you know what? If the only thing that we can pass on to you guys is for you to believe that the reason why you bought this in the first place is because you're built for this shit. So you rock on day by day, just hold. Nothing changes.
So yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. You know, a lot of things that people forget is that the reason why the stock was so attractive, the reason why this was such a great play, because the stock was manipulated, because there was wrongdoing taking place in the market, and we noticed this with this specific ticker. Now, of course, the company AMC itself might have had a little bit more of a sentimental value to each individual, but at the same time, seeing what's going on in the market and then capitalizing on what was going on means we're now going to be receiving that same market abuse, that same corruption, the same foul play that we were noticing. And we knew what was happening. We jumped in, said we want a part of this. Now we're just receiving the negative end of it. It's a roller coaster ride. We're going up and down. We knew what it was. Relax, take a deep breath. We're on our way out.
So the main thing that I want to bring up is we're not going anywhere. Like, we've seen some people maybe want to take a step back, and you have to realize how long everybody has been in this for. Fact remains is we are not going anywhere. And the other thing that I want to bring up is emotion. When money's involved, this whole situation is going to get super emotional. We've seen it over the past month. Emotions are high. We saw the stock run up, come down, kind of consolidate, and then break lower. A lot of people were buying at those higher levels. We completely feel for you. You have an unrealized loss. It sucks looking at it. But what I would recommend to those individuals is try to watch Trey, TMI, Review Dork, read like Rogue's DD tweets. All of the information is out there for you to learn and make your own decision. And once you are able to come to that conclusion, any BS FUD that somebody on Twitter says, basically anywhere, you're gonna be able to put the blinders on and basically say, I could not care less about what this individual has to say about my investment. I've done the research. I know the potential of this situation, and I'm just gonna keep doing me.
Later that same evening.
All right, so basically I want to address all the different negative articles that are coming out. It's good that that we see these things, but everyone needs to understand that we've seen these things since day one, since back in February to now. And on top of that, I want to address all the misinformation, all the different random screenshots that come about on Twitter. Okay, if you don't have a source for it, you shouldn't be there. It's better to not be first, but be accurate. So you want to actually put the correct information out first. That's fine.
You know, you guys had a pretty interesting conversation earlier about just how negative media gets more clicks. Like 90% of the media news is just negativity. And you were speaking about how they feed directly into whatever you click on, whether you like it or not. I've noticed this myself. I know you've noticed it yourself. I'm sure everybody's noticed it. Whatever you watch, whatever you feed into, that's the shit that you're spoon-fed. So you get to choose your own destiny. You get to choose what you want to read. That's your decision to make. And you get to decide that by interacting with the people you choose.
All right, Joey, I gotta ask you a question. What's 2 + 2?
4.
before?
I think.
Trust me, it's fine. I know a guy.
God damn it!
In this meeting, we decided we are the AMC community. And everyone's saying we're leaving. We're not fucking leaving. In fact, our conviction is stronger than ever. Now we realize that to combat the FUD, to combat the delusion, to combat the narratives, we need to empower you with an education. And so that's what we're all going to bring to the table. If I tell Trey 2 + 2 = 5, he needs to be able to stand with enough conviction and say no, it = 4. And the only way he's able to do that is through education. Facts are facts. And as I stated on Twitter, facts tell, stories sell. We're done with stories. We want you guys to keep winning. And so we are definitely not going anywhere. Our conviction is stronger than ever. We're just beginning. This is Gabe.
This is Team I.
Trades, baby.
Short the Vix.
Rogue the Legacy.
And we're signing out.